Hello everyone, my name is Lillian Champion, and today I'm going to be doing my final exam video for my Intro to Public Healthcare class, and I'm going to be doing this topic over one of the most controversial issues. I would say it's a very big deal in the United States, and I chose to do it over obesity. Obesity is a disorder that involves excessive body fat that increases the risk of health problems. It often results from taking in more calories than are burned by exercise with daily normal activities. It occurs when a person's body mass index, or BMI, is over 30. The main symptom is excessive body fat, which increases the risk of serious health problems. The mainstay of this treatment is lifestyle changes such as diet and exercise. I know, myself, I'm obese, but I have taken certain steps to prevent me from getting any bigger, and I'm only going down. If you can just change your mindset and understand the factors and the risk that you have problems with if you're an obese person, then you could change your behavior. That's what we're fixing to get into. According to the CDC, or the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, more than 1/3 of American adults and around 17% of young people under 18 are obese. This was as of 2016, so it's pretty recent. What's sad is we're in the South and everything down here is fried. I mean, you go up north and it's unsweet tea and baked this and baked that. But in the South, I mean, if you can dip it in batter, you can fry it. It doesn't matter what it is, And sweet tea is almost like pancake syrup here. So, I did some research and found out, unfortunately, that the 29th largest state, which is Arkansas, is unfortunately the #1 leading state in obesity in the U.S. Arkansas's adult obesity rate is currently at 35.9%, up from 21.9% in 2000 and from 17% in 1995. Y'all, in 22 years, it has increased almost 20%. That's ridiculous. Digging deeper into these statistics, you can see a whopping 20% of kids from 10 to 17 are obese in Arkansas, as are 41.7% of adults ages 45 through 64. That's most middle-aged people. Most families and everything are obese. As far as cities go, Memphis, Tennessee, and West Memphis, Arkansas metro area ranks the #1 fattest city in the United States. This city has the highest percentage of obesity for adults and physically inactive adults. You may be increasing the risk of many serious health conditions, including hypertension, which is high blood pressure, heart disease and stroke, type 2 diabetes, gallbladder disease, chronic fatigue, asthma, and other respiratory or pulmonary disorders, sleep apnea, and some forms of cancer, all from just being overweight. For women, obesity can lead to problems in the reproductive system. Obesity is also frequently accompanied by depression, and the two can trigger and influence each other. This moves on to environmental / behaviors. Still, these are just going to kind of mesh in together. I don't have specific topics. Depression can both cause and result from stress, which in turn may cause you to change your eating and activity habits. Many people who have difficulty recovering from sudden or emotionally draining events, such as a loss of a family member or a friend, relationship difficulties, losing a job, or facing a serious medical problem, those are some of the things it's talking about. The people that experience stuff like this unknowingly begin eating too much of the wrong foods or foregoing exercise, and before long, these habits become difficult to change. There's, it takes you twice as fast to put it on as it does to take it off. So this in itself is a major, major detriment to your health. Moving on. Binge eating, which is a behavior associated with both obesity and other conditions, such as anorexia nervosa, it's also a symptom of depression, which is one of the key foundations of obesity. The study of obese people with binge eating problems found that 51% also had a history of major depression. That's a pretty steep figure. That's over half of the people that are obese are depressed. That's kind of common sense. When you're overweight and you can't do the things you like, you're going to get depressed. Additional research shows that obese women with binge eating disorders who experience teasing about their appearance later develop body dissatisfaction and depression. So even though you may not have depression once you're obese, all the bullying and the comments about it therefore influence you and you get depressed. So depression is a big key factor. You can either have it as you get big, or you can get it once you're big, just from the simple comments and words. That right there is part of the environmental/social factor right there, is what people say. People that live in highly populated areas, such as large metropolitan cities, constantly have the opportunity to go out and get something super quick and easy instead of staying home and fixing a healthier alternative. And what I'm talking about there is if you live in Dallas, Texas, or Washington, D.C., or Nashville even, is a smaller metropolitan, you can just call up a restaurant and, not even just pizza anymore, restaurants deliver almost anything. And most of them offer cheaper options than even buying groceries. And for some things, that can be a big problem. A lot of people can't afford to barely even live in the metropolitan area, much less the healthy foods that it takes to remain fit and active. Another big thing is Uber food. They have started doing Uber drivers just to pick up and deliver your food, which is actually handy if you chose healthy options. But when you're obese, you're constantly used to unhealthy foods, and that's what your body craves on, so that's what you order. Moving on to the economical factors, the healthcare cost of obesity are high, and some claim that increasing obesity rates inflict cost on the rest of society. Obese people spend around 42% more on healthcare, which is about $1,429 more per year. And it cost the nation $75 billion in direct cost each year. The total cost of obesity is as high as $139 billion per year, and the indirect cost could include absenteeism from work, disability, and workers' compensation. Obesity is linked to approximately 300,000 deaths per year. Many of these costs are borne by private hospitals, the government, and businesses, rather than obese citizens themselves. That right there is a big, important economic concept. Obesity has only begun to enter America's political consciousness, and we have very little information about what average Americans think of obesity or whether they support obesity-related policies. Using unique survey data, this essay, or speech, examines public attitudes towards obesity and obesity policy. We find that contrary to the views of health experts, most Americans are not seriously concerned with obesity. They express relatively low support for obesity-targeted policies and still view obesity as a resulting form of individual failure rather than an environmental or genetic source. The long list of potentially ethically problematic aspects include effects on the physical health. There are negative psychosocial consequences, including uncertainty, fears, and concerns, blaming and stigmatization, and unjust discrimination, which is bullying. I don't care how old you are, people still bully you in life, and that affects you. Inequalities are aggravated, and inadequate information is distributed constantly about obesity. The social and cultural value of eating is disregarded, and people's privacy is disrespected. The complexity of responsibilities regarding overweight and obesity is disregarded. Interventions infringe upon personal freedom regarding lifestyle choices and raising children, and regarding freedom of private enterprise, or regarding policy choices by schools and other organizations. The last thing I want to discuss is the future of obesity. One of the questions were, is it increasing or decreasing? Honestly, if people do not start making healthier choices, and that falls into the behavior aspect, you have to choose to do it for yourself. You have to choose to get fit. You have to choose to be healthy. And if you don't, it's going to increase. And honestly, I see it increasing because not a lot of people actually really care about themselves. What's being done to fix this situation is not a lot. I mean, you see gyms and diet programs and everything like that. But we need to get something that is specifically for obese people. There's a lot of things that happen. Obese people that do try, they walk into gyms and they're constantly body checked, which means they're just looked up and down, and they're just constantly judged because they're like, oh, well, she don't need to be in here. She's fat. She shouldn't be working out. That right there is the problem. It's horrible. I propose that you open a gym, or a gym gets opened that is specifically for obese people, and they have a workout station, and you have like a pre and post snack station that helps fuel you and calm you down afterwards. Just somewhere, it's like a safe haven for obese people, because if you can't care for yourself, how do you expect for anybody else to care for you? And I know this is just a brief 12 or 13 minute video on this subject, but I really felt like obesity was one of the really big topics that is a big issue for public health. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it provided you with a bunch of information. And if you're on the fence and you're obese, please do it for you. Do it for everybody around you. You won't believe how much better you feel. Thank you so much.